Today we're playing MOGGWARTS, the Pauper Goblins combo deck that uses Putrid Goblin, Skirk Prospector, and then first day of class to generate infinite mana and win the game. Let's go check this one out. Welcome to MOGGWARTS, the Pauper first day of class combo deck. And well, what is first day of class? It's a 2-mana instant. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it gets a +1/+1 counter. And then you have Putrid Goblin, and this is a 2-mana black goblin that has persist. And at its core, this is a Putrid Goblin deck. So when it dies, it enters with a -1/-1 counter. First day of class gives it a +1/+1 counter. These counters just wash out and they cease to exist, allowing you to infinitely sacrifice the Putrid Goblin to Skirk Prospector. So now you have infinite red mana. Well, what can you do with that infinite red mana? Luckily for you, first day of class has another line of text, which is learn. So you're able to discard a card from your hand and draw a card, or you can get a lesson card from your sideboard. In this case, you probably want to grab Introduction to Prophecy, 3 mana, scry 2, draw a card. So that allows you to dig for something like Goblin Matron, which can find Dark Dweller Oracle. This was originally a rare that has been downshifted to a common. You can now sacrifice the Putrid Goblin infinitely to the Dark Dweller Oracle and exile your entire deck until you hit something like a Stormshriek Feral, which you can now play, pump up, and attack for infinite damage, or you could even win with Makeshift Munitions, sacrificing that Putrid Goblin even more. Alright, well that's how we win. If this deck is so powerful and so good, where has it been the last couple of years? And I think that's a fair question. The Glee combo deck was essentially the same deck, except it only needed 2 combo pieces and not 3. And since the Glee combo deck has been banned, the Spy combo deck came to power, and with that, Fairy Macabre has been everywhere. And you might be asking, okay, so why are you playing this deck here today? Well, I think this deck has changed and gotten a lot of new tools that allow it to potentially beat Fairy Macabre. So let's go over those. So the first thing is that we're a first day of class deck, which means we get to play lesson cards in our sideboard. We recently returned to Strixhaven, and with that we gained new lesson cards, like the Dali Indoctrination, which allows you to discard a card from an opponent's hand. This can check for Fairy Macabre. Okay, so now we have a wish target that answers Fairy Macabre. You also have Origin of Metal Bending. This is a wish target that answers a Nile Spellbomb or makes your Skirk Prospector indestructible if your opponents try to remove it while you're comboing. Both of these things provide what we needed in order to successfully be a functioning deck. And then there was another piece that happened that I did not mention, which was that Deadly Dispute was banned, and it was a huge hit for this deck because you want to splash green for Mass Vandal. This is a changeling that counts as a goblin for Goblin Matron, allowing you to have a main deck answer to Nile Spellbomb. With Deadly Dispute being banned, you no longer were able to consistently make green mana. You had Chromatic Star, but that was about it. Well, when we had the Outlaws of Thunder Junction set, we gained Conduit Pylons, which surveils one, which could even put the Putrid Goblin to the graveyard or your copies of Unearth, but it also filters mana, including green, for the Mass Vandal. So now you have another green source. But then in the latest set, which is the Hobbit, we gained Giant's Boulder, which is a colorless artifact that digs 2 for a combo piece. It filters into a green mana for the Mass Vandal. Or when you go infinite, that 7 mana ability could even be relevant for clearing a blocker for your Stormshriek Feral or some other card that might be preventing you from winning the game. So I think Giant's Boulder here is actually quite the upgrade. And now we have 9 ways in our main deck to filter green for the Mass Vandal or cast the Origin of Metal Bending off of the first day of class. So there's been a number of upgrades that make this now a viable choice. And that's not the only card that we gained from the return to Strixhaven. We also have the Firebending lesson if we need to remove creatures, which is also relevant. And then we have Temporal Intervention, which is a newer card, I say newer within the last year or so, that can discard Fairy Macabre from the opponent's hand. So this deck has quietly gained a handful of things that I think make it better than it was initially after the Glee banning in Pauper. Let's see if that's true today. I mean, I've always enjoyed this deck. I own it in paper, and hopefully it does well today. I think the only card I actually don't own in paper is this Vision of Love. Maybe I'll buy some of those. But I hope we do well. Let's see if that is a reality in match number 1, and I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicsforum.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicsforum.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Round number 1, we're on the draw. I have no idea what we're facing. We have a 1-lander. So if you hit your second land, you can Stormshriek Feral, discard the Putrid Goblin, and then unearth it. I don't think this hand is really worth the risk. We'll just take a mulligan. This is better. We'll keep. Put the Dark Dweller Oracle on the bottom. They cycle Generous End. Okay. We'll play Conduit Pylon, Surveil. Don't need an unearth. Well, actually, I could discard the Goblin Matron and then bring it back for 1. That's actually not bad. Play the Chromatic Star, pass. Looks like we're facing Spy combo here. They have Mesmeric Fiend. And they take the Stormshriek Feral. Interesting. We'll play Swamp. Play the Putrid Goblin. Pass the turn. So we need first day of class and a Skirk Prospector at the moment. Wall of Roots. And a second Mesmeric Fiend. And they take my Goblin Matron. Highly disruptive draw here in game number 1. Another Conduit Pylons. We'll play it. Get rid of the Boiling Rock Prison. I'll just cycle the Unearth. Okay. So if we top deck the first day of class, we're in a reasonable spot. Pass the turn. We also need to not be dead here. They play Lead the Stampede. They didn't find much. A Sagu Wildling and a Generous End. So what's interesting about them playing Mesmeric Fiend is that the first day of class would guarantee win because I could grab Firebending Lesson, kill the Mesmeric Fiend, and then get back my Goblin Matron. So we just have it as long as I find the first day of class. They play another Wall of Roots. Sure. Well, what do you know? First day of class. We'll grab the Firebending Lesson. Sacrifice. Auto Yield. We'll kill the Mesmeric Fiend that has the Goblin Matron under it. We'll play Goblin Matron. Yes. We'll grab the Dark Dweller Oracle. We'll play the Oracle. And the opponent concedes. Okay, so we have taken game number 1. We probably want the Temporal Interventions. I don't think we need Mass Vandal here. We can get that out of our deck. Maybe we want the Kark Clan Shaman. I'm less sure about that one. I don't think that this is a value matchup, so I'm going to get rid of Ichor Wellspring. We'll try this. We've opened up a hand that is not playable. We will mulligan. This seems okay enough. Bottom the Mountain. They have a turn 1 Sagu Wildling, and they grab the basic Swamp. We'll play Mountain, play the Skirk Prospector, pass. There's the Swamp, into Overgrown Battlement. We'll play Giant's Boulder. I think we're getting rid of both of these cards. Play the Rakdos Carnarium, pick up the Mountain, pass the turn. They play a Winding Way. They found the Spy, and a Generous End. Okay. Elves of Deep Shadow. I could be dead next turn. Play the Mountain, Goblin Matron. Yes. Grab the Putrid Goblin and we'll pass. It's really Caretaker into Avenging Hunter. So they don't have the win, at least not right now. The thing is, I don't have the win either. I don't have first day of class, not yet. Now they play the land. Another Boulder. We'll play Conduit Pylons. We don't need a land. I'm trying to figure out if I can actually win here because we know that they have the Spy, but I could also just try to dig into the discard spell. Let's play Boulder. There's first day of class, okay. That actually might be good enough to win here. So I'll play Putrid Goblin. And now we'll sacrifice Goblin Matron. We'll play Vision of Love. And we will... I don't know if it matters here. We'll discard the Unearth. I can now sacrifice the Putrid Goblin. Am I 1 mana short? I'm a mana short. Damn it. Okay. They got me. Oh, that was close. On the play for game 3. I guess maybe I wasn't allowed to play the Giant's Boulder and I had to just pray. Or, okay, here was maybe a better line that I didn't consider until just now. Vision of Love, discard the Putrid Goblin instead of cast it, and then unearth it. Maybe that gives me enough. Yeah, that probably is a winning line. We will keep. We'll play Boiling Rock Prison and pass. They kept 7, which is scary. They play Land Grant. They have a Fairy Macabre in their hand. They cycle Generous End. We'll play Conduit Pylons. Another first day of class. I don't think I need that. Chromatic Star. Filter into a black. Draw a card. Temporal Intervention. Take the Fairy Macabre. And we'll pass. They play the land into Wall of Roots and Elves of Deep Shadow. So we know their entire hand at the moment. We'll play another Conduit Pylons. Get rid of the Swamp. Play Chromatic Star. I'm going to filter the Chromatic Star for a red here. Guess we'll play Dark Dweller Oracle. Pass. Gate Creeper Vine. Find Swamp. They play it. And now the Cerulean Caretaker. This Myric Fiend. That hurts. That was a good draw step. I'm very far away from winning. We find another Chromatic Star. We'll play it. Cycle for red. Play the Vault of Whispers. And then we'll Vision of Love. Sacrifice the Vault of Whispers. Okay. We're closer to winning now. So Goblin Matron can find Skirk Prospector. They're going to hardcast a Dread Return here on the Generous End. Yep. So I can Goblin Matron for Skirk Prospector and then sacrifice the Matron, unearth it, and then go get the Putrid Goblin. Yes. Grab Skirk Prospector. Pass. Have to hope that we're not dead here. They attack. We'll just block with the Goblin Matron. They have 3 cards in hand, one of which is a Dread Return. Our opponent plays a Masked Vandal. Okay. And Balustrade Spy. I think there's still a land in their deck, so it depends on where it's at. Apparently all the way at the bottom, so we're dead. Great. Brutal. And they have Dread Return into Lotleth Giant. So our opponent took the chance on Lotleth Giant killing me with the Spy, with the land being on the bottom, and it worked out for them. So unfortunately, we lose, but we had the win on our turn. So that was a pretty good match. We're starting this league off 0-1.
Building a new deck usually means getting hit with a dozen different shipping fees from a dozen different sellers. It adds up fast, and honestly, it's the worst part of buying cards. That's why I switched to Card Trader Zero. You shop their global marketplace, but instead of having every seller ship to you, they ship to Card Trader's hub first. Card Trader then packs everything into a single shipment for you, and it saves a small fortune on shipping fees. This package from Card Trader just arrived. These are 4 dark rituals that came from 4 different sellers, but they all arrived in one envelope, and every card was quality checked by the Card Trader team before it hit my door. Check out the link in the description to try Card Trader Zero's optimizer for yourself. Stop paying for multiple shipments and get just one.
Let's bounce back in match number 2. We are on the play. We'll keep. We'll play the Boiling Rock Prison and pass the turn. They play Urza's Mine into Giant's Boulder. We'll play Conduit Pylons to see if we can dig for the Putrid Goblin. Play Skirk Prospector, pass. They have Urza's Power Plant and Barrels of Blasting Jelly. That's not good for me. Rakdos Carnarium. We'll play another Boiling Rock Prison. Attack. Natural Tron. Unfortunate. Now they play a Bonder's Ornament and Expedition map. They're going to use the map for an Urza's Tower. Alright, deck, I need a Putrid Goblin right now. No. I will play Rakdos Carnarium, pick up the Conduit Pylons. Swing. Pass the turn. They play Urza's Tower. Another Expedition map. Surveillance Room, what's that? Oh, it's the same thing as Conduit Pylons, okay. And a Pinnacle Kill Ship. My Skirk Prospector dies. We find Ichor Wellspring. I'll play the Conduit Pylons. Get rid of the mountain. Play Ichor Wellspring. Play Giant's Boulder. Well, that's a win, assuming that nothing bad happens, which I doubt is going to be the case. They play the Surveillance Room. We're going to Giant's Boulder on my Rakdos Carnarium. Okay. Play land and pass. A Boulder Branch Golem. They're leaving open 5 manas for the Barrels of Blasting Jelly. Play my land. Maybe I just pass here. Something I'm considering is end step first day of class for Origin of Metal Bending. But I need all of my mana in order to win, so I don't think I can actually afford to cast the Origin of Metal Bending. They play a Brambleworm. Now they crew the Pinnacle Kill Ship. Okay, what if I Origin of Metal Bending the Barrels of Blasting Jelly? I think that works. We'll grab Origin of Metal Bending on the end step. And now I'll filter into a green. We're going to destroy the Barrels of Blasting Jelly. Play my land. First day of class. We'll grab another Origin of Metal Bending. I don't think I can actually afford to cast it, but maybe we can bluff. Play the Putrid Goblin. First day of class triggers. Skirk Prospector. Trigger. And now we'll sacrifice this. They have crop rotation for Bazooka Bog? Did I play around the wrong thing? I could have gotten the other card. The discard spell. Yeah, I guess you just had it all. That's frustrating. Maybe I was supposed to get the discard spell instead. Okay, we're going to lose game number 1 here. I felt like I played the game fairly well too. I just wasn't like a lot of lists aren't even playing the crop rotation into Bazooka Bog package anymore for the Monstertron decks. I will bring in Temporal Intervention. I don't think that this is really a value matchup, so I'm going to side out Ichor Wellspring. And I think I want the other Mass Vandal. We'll shave 1 Unearth, and we'll try this. I don't think I even had enough mana to play the Dial-In Indoctrination. I had 5 lands, so I can first day of class into the discard spell. But then what do I do? Like, the only reason I was able to hold open Origin of Metal Bending is because I can sacrifice the creature to make the 2nd mana. So it's not like I actually misplayed. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was a mana short of using the discard spell, so it just never mattered. So I don't think that was a misplay. I think it was the correct choice given the circumstance. Game 2, we're on the play. Another mulligan. Keep this, I suppose. Get rid of the Dark Dweller Oracle. I'm going to play Duress on turn 1 in case we can clip an Expedition map. And it looks like they have Tron 2 ways, so it doesn't really matter all that much. We'll take the Expedition map. They play Power Plant and 2 Barrels of Blasting Jelly. We'll play Chromatic Star, Rakdos Carnarium, pick up the Swamp, pass. There's this Tower. Let's filter Chromatic Star for a red. Play another Chromatic Star. Filter for a black in case we draw the discard spell. We don't. I'll play Giant's Boulder. Duress here is really risky because if they draw a land crop rotation in response and they just have Tron, I think we have to hope that they don't draw it. I'm going to keep Duress on top. Play the Boiling Rock Prison, pass. They drew Tron. Yep. My gamble with the Duress did not pay off. Now they play a Boulder Branch Golem. We'll play Conduit Pylons. I can put the Putrid Goblin in the graveyard for the Unearth. Duress. It's nothing. I think I just pass here. No, Maelstrom Colossus into Brambleworm. I am so dead. I don't think there's a draw that gets me out of this. Maybe Vision of Love into 2 perfects. So I'm going to take 6 here. Oh, great. Wonderful. But even if I play this, I soak up 7, I take 13, and I go to 1. We'll make a green. Play the Mass Vandal. Well, I guess I could kill one of the creatures, but I'd have to exile my Putrid Goblin, which I don't think is a winning strat. So I'm not going to do it. And then we'll Temporal Intervention. Wait, I'm just dead on board to the Barrels of Blasting Jelly. Never mind. We got crushed. We're 0-2.
Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game.
Round 3, we're on the draw again. I'm going to keep it. This is a 1-lander. We're on the draw, so you have another opportunity or 2 to hit your lands. We also have Chromatic Star. They play a turn 1 Faithless Looting. Looks like it's the Madness Burn deck. Probably not a great hand for this matchup. We'll play our Mountain, play Chromatic Star, pass the turn. Land number 2 for them. They plot a Highway Robbery. We did not draw the land. I will use Chromatic Star for a block. We'll cast Duress. This league is just not going well. Take the Fiery Temper. Pass the turn. They play land number 3. Highway Robbery. Sneaky Snacker returns and now another Faithless Looting. And they plot another Highway Robbery. And we're just not drawing anything. Discard Goblin Matron. Another Highway Robbery. They swing. Ouch. They grab the prize, discards Faithless Looting, and now a Kessig Flame Breather. That is a land. We'll play Ichor Wellspring. Pass the turn. Another Faithless Looting. Discards 2 lands. Now they flash back a Faithless Looting. Discards Mountain Lava Dart. We get hit for 3 down to 11. Skirk Prospector. We're just so far away from winning is the concern. I'm going to choose to go to discard here. We're probably not winning anyway. I mean, I could play the Makeshift Munitions, but if I discard the Putrid Goblin and then draw a Swamp, I can unearth Skirk Prospector first day of class and try to win. The issue is that they played Lava Dart, so we're probably not winning anyway. And it looks like I'm just dead. I took a risk on a 1-lander on the draw. It did not work. I don't think we want Ichor Wellspring in the matchup. It's not a value matchup. We'll bring in the Temporal Intervention. Maybe Mass Vandal for Relic of Progenitus. We'll side out and unearth. Let's try this. Keep. We'll play Boiling Rock Prison and pass. They play Mountain. No turn 1 play. Let's play the Dark Dweller Oracle and see if it eats a removal spell. And they do Lightning Bolt it. That is fine with me. They play a land. Grab the prize, discards Gutter Snipe. We'll play Boiling Rock Prison and pass. On their end step, I'm going to Vision of Love, likely discarding the Mass Vandal. Land number 3. Another Gutter Snipe. We will Vision of Love. Discard. Mass Vandal to the graveyard. No first day of class. Temporal Intervention. I guess we can play that. Target you. We'll take the Fiery Temper. Pass the turn. They play land number 4. Attack me down to 16. Kessig Flame Breather. Play our land. Let's play Goblin Matron. Yes. Grab a Putrid Goblin, and we're going to play it just to eat a removal spell. Or offer to trade with the Gutter Snipe. Either works. They play the 5th land. Redraw land number 6. And I think I just pass here. And then I'll draw off of the Boiling Rock Prison. They Fiery Temper at me. So I'm taking 6 here down to 10. End step will draw. Another Skirk Prospector. Temporal Intervention. Play Skirk Prospector. Sacrifice Goblin Matron. Well, Temporal Intervention. Guess we'll take Smash to Smithereens. And then, what do I want to do here? Sacrifice the Putrid Goblin. It will persist. And then we'll draw off the Boiling Rock Prison. Pass the turn. Highway Robbery. That probably kills me. We just couldn't find first day of class this game. Saw almost a third of my deck. Voldaren Epicure. They have 1 card. I mean, if it's a spell, I'm dead, so it appears that it's not. And I still can't find first day of class. We'll play Mountain. We'll play Flush Out, discarding Putrid Goblin. Yeah, so now we have seen a third of the deck, and I just can't find it. Giant's Boulder. There's the Storm Shriek Feral again. We'll leave it on top. Might as well just cast my spells. Putrid Goblin. Skirk Prospector. Pass. Lava Dart kills me. Unfortunate. We're just getting rolled this league. Like, it's... You could argue that I shouldn't have kept my opening 7 in game 1. I hear you. I took a risk on a 1-land hand. But right now, we're just... 3-card combo seems like it's too much. Let's see if we can get a win in match number 4.
MOGGWARTS.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. MOGGWARTS supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on MOGGWARTS.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks.
Let's try to get a win in match number 4. Unfortunately, another mulligan. I have not been able to keep many hands this league. Send it back. I guess we're keeping this as a 5. Get rid of Duress and Ichor Wellspring. They play an island. We'll play Great Furnace into Chromatic Star. Pass the turn. They cycle an Ash Barrens for a forest. Not quite sure what they're playing yet. And now they cycle Lorien Revealed. They play the Rimewood Falls that they searched for. We'll play Boiling Rock Prison and Giant's Boulder. Get rid of the Unearth. And I think I'll bottom the Mountain too, because I'm expecting that we'll draw a land. Our opponent doesn't even have a stop on their first main phase, which is interesting, which tells me that they're probably playing Turbo Fog. We'll play Conduit Pylons. We'll bin the Chromatic Star and play Goblin Matron. Yes, we'll search out the Putrid Goblin. Pass the turn. They use the Foreboding Landscape. Yeah, like, it goes straight from draw step to second main phase. They don't even have any other phase stop on. Like, this is definitely like a Turbo Fog deck, I think. Murmuring Mystic. Well, you might want to put that stop on. We'll play our mountain. Let's Vision of Love. We'll sacrifice the Chromatic Star. We drew first day of class. Makeshift Munitions. Let's play the Makeshift Munitions. Pass the turn. It goes straight to combat. So I guess you don't really need a stop because it will stop for you. You drew a land. Let's go to combat and attack with the Goblin Matron. Try Chromatic Star. Pass the turn. They swing for 1. Ouch. We'll use the Makeshift Munitions to fling 1 at them, sacrificing the Chromatic Star. So we drew the missing combo piece, but now the question is, like, what is our opponent doing? Like, they just have not been casting spells. So I think I'm going to test them a bit here, and we'll play the Stormshriek Feral as a creature, and it just resolves. We will attack. I also have no idea. You'll notice that my Chromatic Stars in the graveyard have been lighting up, like right now. No clue why they're doing that. They play Embrace the Paradox here. Draw 3 cards and then put a land tapped onto the battlefield, which is a Dimir Aqueduct. They swing, and now they play a Brainstorm. They cycle another Ash Barrens, grabbing an island. Stream of Thought. So this is Mill or Turbo Fog. The question is, do they have like an Arcane Denial to stop my win? Duress was a good draw. Let's play it. And they do have the Arcane Denial. We'll take it. Play Skirk Prospector. Putrid Goblin. So they have Disrupt in their hand. I can sacrifice Goblin Matron. First day of class, they Disrupt. I could sacrifice... How does this work? Or am I actually a mana short? I might be a mana short here. I'll just pass. And if they tap out, I can kill them at instant speed. I guess I can attack with the Stormshriek Feral. They attack for 2. Ouch, I go to 15. They play their land. First day of class. I mean, they're just dead. I guess we grab Origin of Metal Bending just to protect, I guess. I also wonder if we should be playing like It'll Quench Ya, or whatever that card is called. So that way we have a counterspell to get off of first day of class. But I think we might need more fixing for that. We have infinite red mana here, and I'm just slowly clicking through. And now I will target them, sacrifice the Putrid Goblin. Alright, so they're making me click through this, which is ultimately fine. I can just respond to this and kill them, so we'll do that. Update, still clicking through, but we'll get there. Our opponent wants me to click it out. I know what deck I signed up for. You can't be mad at your opponents for not conceding when you signed up with a deck that requires infinite clicks. Like, that's sort of just on you. We probably want Pyroblast. I don't think that this is a great Unearth matchup, but I want to leave like 2 of them in. I think I'm going to board out the Mass Vandal. And if they do end up having like a Relic of Progenitus or something, we can get Origin of Metal Bending off of the first day of class. And then I like Ichor Wellspring here. I'm trying to find another cut. Maybe 1 Giant's Boulder. Let's try this. Oh boy, we get to keep a 7? No way. I don't believe you. They play an island and pass. We'll play Boiling Rock Prison. Pass the turn back. They play a forest. I think we'll just play the Dark Dweller Oracle here. They cast Brainstorm. They play Foreboding Landscape. Sure. Get in there. We are the aggro. Vault of Whispers. I think we'll just play Goblin Matron. Yes. Grab a Skirk Prospector and we'll pass. Simic Growth Chamber. Go to combat. Swing. We'll play Rakdos Carnarium and pick up the Vault of Whispers. Pass the turn. And step they Brainstorm again. And now they cycle a Lorien Revealed. I think we'll just take our turn. I don't need Division of Love quite yet. We'll play our land. Attack for 3. Another Goblin Matron. Yes. We'll select Putrid Goblin. Pass the turn. They play a Growth Spiral. Go to combat. Swing. They cast a Moment's Peace. That is fine. We'll play the Boiling Rock Prison. Pass the turn. Another Growth Spiral. What's in an Ash Barrens? A little surprised by that. Embrace the Paradox. I will Pyroblast this. Drawing 3 cards and them being tapped out is pretty good for me. Well, them not drawing 3 cards and being tapped low, I should say. End step, we will Vision of Love. And I think we'll sacrifice the Vault of Whispers. And then we'll Vision of Love again. Discard the Conduit Pylons. Did not draw a protection spell. So what I could do here is first day of class and then threaten to swing for lethal. Ooh, Fire Blast on top. Play Chromatic Star. Let's make a red and draw a card. We'll attempt a first day of class. That resolves. Grab the Introduction to Prophecy, I should say. Skirk Prospector. And now another Skirk Prospector. We'll go to combat and attack for 8. See if they're forced into using Moment's Peace here. And they just take it, going to 4. I'll sacrifice a Goblin Matron. Play Putrid Goblin. First day of class. Sacrifice Putrid Goblin. Persist. They have Heritage Reclamation. Okay, so that's going to stop me from winning here. I think I just pass. They play Dimir Aqueduct. Another Pyroblast. We will attack. Moment's Peace. Play Makeshift Munitions. They play an Arcane Denial. I will fight here. Cast Pyroblast. The Arcane Denial again. I'll show them another Pyroblast. They're at 4. I have 3 available mana. Okay, they just don't want to wait. We've won our first match, and we are now 1-3.
The Gold Sabertooth times the Epic Storm collection has arrived with 3 full-size tokens showcasing the beloved Dark Ritual, CDH Rogsai, and Legacy of the Epic Storm for just $5. On the backs of these tokens, there's a place for my signature or a custom message. In addition to these sweet tokens, a friendly reminder that all orders that ship from theepicstorm.com also come with a signed Storm token from yours truly.
Oh look, another no-land hand. We're really bad at this today. Just not drawing our lands. Keep bottom the Mass Vandal. They play Basic Forest into Sagu Wildling. Okay, so probably Spy. They grab a Mountain. Maybe not Spy. We'll play the Boiling Rock Prison, pass. I was thinking about this in between rounds, about what the issue with this deck is, and I'll go over again at the end, but I think we're playing some cards like Ichor Wellspring and Vision of Love that haven't aged particularly well, if I'm being honest with you. Like this, they're a little dirtily. Like they want you to pass the turn multiple times and not really play to the board or anything like that. They're pure card advantage spells. And I think that is too slow for the current era of Pauper. So I have some thoughts. I'll elaborate more at the end. But I think moving forward, I probably wouldn't play just strict draw spells that are slow for value. They play another land. Eldrazi Repurposer. Okay. Giant's Boulder. We'll play Great Furnace. Play the Boulder. I think we actually want the land. And then I'll play Vision of Love. And the only reason that this is working here is that our opponent kept like the world's slowest hand. And we have the full combo now. Pass. They play a Wild Growth and Avenging Hunter. So I believe we have the win here. They grabbed a Swamp. Interesting. Play the Mountain. Skirk Prospector. Putrid Goblin. We're going to sacrifice the Putrid Goblin. With this persist trigger on the stack, we'll play first day of class. And I'll get Introduction to Prophecy. Auto yield to that trigger. And now we have infinite red mana. We'll show them that we have the win with Stormshriek Feral. Maybe they'll concede, maybe they won't. Pump up the Stormshriek Feral. Okay, so they want me to play through it, which is fine. Let's play Skirk Prospector here. Goblin Matron. We'll get a Dark Dweller Oracle. Play that too. Might just be a little bit faster to actually put some power in play, I was thinking. We'll kill their Avenging Hunter. Pump up the Stormshriek Feral. How much do we have here? That's 5, 9, 10, 16. So just short. And now they can see. Okay. So we probably want the Mass Vandal for a Relic of Progenitus. And then maybe we just cut one Unearth. Well, it has lands versus their land destruction, so I think we keep this. Basic Forest. Wild Growth. We'll play Vault of Whispers and Duress. Take Utopia Sprawl. Pass. They play the basic. They're currently 1 mana short of a Writhing Chrysalis. We'll play Boiling Rock Prison, pass the turn. They don't have green mana for the Writhing Chrysalis here. They need red. So they could play a Nyxborn Hydra. That's something they're allowed to do. And they do. We'll play the Conduit Pylons. Keep the Dark Dweller Oracle on top, but then I'm going to shuffle it away. I want it for later. Yes. We'll grab a Skirk Prospector. It's usually better to grab the Prospector first because of the Unearths. Another Basic Forest does not help them here. No blocks. And that should be the win. We'll play Great Furnace, Skirk Prospector, Putrid Goblin, sacrifice Goblin Matron, and they concede the match. 2/3 heroes. Okay, so what would I change? I probably would not play Ichor Wellspring or Vision of Love again. So one area that I felt like was difficult throughout the league was Mass Vandal actually being turned on by having a creature in the graveyard. There's a goblin, I believe it's called Goblin Pilferer, which is a goblin that when it dies, you get to make a treasure. And I like that because it not only gives you a creature in the graveyard for the Mass Vandal, it also makes the green. So I'd be interested in playing that because it also speeds you up, which was a problem with our version today. It was very slow. So I'd probably be playing some number of those Goblin Pilferers, I believe they're called. And then I'd probably cut all 4 Vision of Love, the 3 Ichor Wellspring. I'd put in the 4th Giant's Boulder. And then I'd want Faithless Looting. I basically want my Unearths to speed up Goblin Matron and Putrid Goblin. And then from there, I think the deck is faster enough where it can compete. And I think that's just a big thing because this deck list felt very slow. And all of these like dirtily mid-range cards did not feel particularly good in any match I played today. And then another thing that I was thinking is, I don't know if Temporal Intervention is the way, or if we should just be playing a copy of Eloquentia in the sideboard, and maybe a second copy of the Dai-Li Indoctrination for Fairy Macabre. I'm not sure about that. Is Temporal Intervention actually good? It could be if we're playing the Goblin that makes treasures. So I'm not really sure there. And the treasures also make it so you can actually cast the Eloquentia, which I like as well. So basically turning this into a 4-color Goblin combo deck. But I think those would be improvements compared to the pseudo mid-range package we played today. 2/3 is not what I was hoping for. Honestly, when I signed up for this, I thought there's a chance we could 4-1, maybe a 3-2. So maybe that's on me for keeping that opening hand in match 3, game 1, but I would have liked to have done better. I really like the Giant's Boulders. I think being able to dig on turn 1 and filter your colors is pretty huge. Let me know what you think of the changes and what I would play next time. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. If you enjoyed this video, you might also like the Eternal Glory podcast featuring myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval, known as Bosch and Roll, and Phil Gallagher, aka Thrabian University, where we discuss legacy theories, strategies, ban restricted announcements, and so much more. We're available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube.